What is up, guys? Welcome back to Cozy Talks. This week we got UFC Fight Night, Moicano versus Duncan. It's an Apex card. It's a prospect card, not an exciting card. I'll be honest with you guys. I think this is one of the cards that is just filler. We get to just learn about fighters, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to learn. We're here to talk about it and give you some of my picks. Z's not here for this week, but that's okay because I got you guys covered. Start time for this fight is 5 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. is standard Paramount time for the U.S. events. Next week we have 327. I think that's next week. I'm looking forward to that, but we gotta get through this week first. So let's get into it, guys, and let's roll. Got first fight of the night. We got Dakota Hope versus Kai Kamaka III. Dakota Hope trains out of 4 ounce fight clubs. What does that mean? He fights with Joshua Van. He fights with Alden Coria, which tells us all we need to know. I'm taking Dakota Hope as the dog in this one. I think he's going to be the more fluid striker. Usually, the guys that train at Forest Fight Club are really solid in the boxing department, and they usually have pretty decent takedown defense. I think he can be a dog in this one. On the other side, got Kai Kamaka. This is his debut as well. He fought out a Tough Enough. Just promote. I think I've heard of the promotion. Somewhere in the I want to say they're in the PNW. I could be wrong. But yeah, that's where he's from. He fought PFL, lost Lufnane. Not a bad loss. He fights Extreme Couture. That's Eric Nixick's camp, I think. Dakota Hope. I'm just gonna take the chance on him. He's 11-1. He's on a bit of a win streak here. We can talk about their method of victory. I mean, like I said, when you fight out of foreign fight clubs, you're pretty much expected to get knockouts. He has a submission on his belt, which is good. Got decision wins, whatever. Lost by a decision, so we know that he's never finished. We know that he's a dog. Kai Kamaka. Let's look real quick. Talk about it. All he does is get decisions. You really want to root for a guy that only gets decisions? I don't think so. Give me the guy out of 4 ounce fight clubs. Dakota Hope making his debut. Moving on. Dion Barbosa, Melissa Gatto. I don't gotta think much about this one. I mean, it might be a bit of a sweat because it is a bit lower level MMA for the women's, but I trust Diana Barbosa. I trust the UFC experience. She's coming off of a loss to Karine Silva, which is not a bad loss. Karine Silva kind of whooped her up for majority of that fight. Before that, she beat Belbita, which I think was a great win and got the finish. Beat Miranda or lost to Miranda Maverick. It is what it is. Miranda Maverick's a ranked opponent. Melissa Gatto, we know she's got a pretty good ground game as well. But I think she's not gonna be able to sustain the positions on the ground as well as Barbosa does. I think Barbosa has a bit better jujitsu and a bit better grappling. She lost to Ariana Lipsky, who is now in the PFL, I think is what we saw. Tracy Cortez, not a bad loss. She beat Tamiris Vidal. I don't know who that is. But yeah, I trust Deanna Barbosa in this one. Like I said, I think she's gonna have the superior grappling, and I just hope she can edge it out on the feet as well. I think her striking is gonna be the X factor here. If she has good striking in this one, then I think she's gonna control all the other avenues of this fight. So give me Diana Barbosa in this one by decision. Moving on. This is a layup fight, in my opinion. Asma Pekoyev, Tresean Gore. Asma Pekoyev, all day. Doesn't make sense for me to fade the guy. He has as many losses as Tresean Gore with 4 times the wins. That's be kind of all I need to know here. Tresean Gore somehow still the UFC at 5-4. He's on 2 losses. I think they're both by finish as well. Yeah, lost to Marco Tulio. Not a bad loss. I will say it's not a bad loss. Marco Tulio was one of the guys who just beat Usury. Yeah, he beat Usury Bagorwi, who we just saw on UFC Seattle. And then Rodolfo Vieira. Rodolfo Vieira looked like a fucking grade A kickboxer in this fight. It was a very crazy thing to watch him piece up Tresean Gore the way he did. This was kind of like a crazy fight, to be honest with you. Laszlo Bakoyev, his last loss, funny enough, Usury, who I just talked about. So before that, he was riding a huge win streak, beat Ryan Loder, starched him in the first, or was it the second? I don't remember. But give me Osmont, man. I think his wrestling is really good. He's got a short reach, which is kind of his one problem. But we know he has a lot of power in his hands. He has a shit ton of knockouts. Has 8 knockouts, 8 submissions. You can kind of get this done however he wants. I think Tresean Gore has proven to be pretty lackluster anywhere. So, however, Osmond wants to get it done, I'm just taking him inside the distance. I mean, it just makes more sense. I mean, it's a bounce back fight for him coming off of a brutal loss. Yeah, I don't think there's much to be said here. Moving on. Haley Cohen, Alice Pereira. That is our next fight. Prelim. Hmm. I'm gonna take the shot on the girl that's younger, and I don't know why. I'm just gonna do it. I don't know much about either of these gals. I watched this debut against Monster Rendon. Monster Rendon, we saw just get smoked by Bia Mosquita and get cut right after that loss. Um, but then again, we're talking about Alice Pereira, who is 20 years old. Okay, you gotta give her some slack here, okay? First fight in the UFC, she was 19 at the time. Pretty crazy. You can't doubt her. I think she has some pretty okay hands. Her striking is kind of whatever. She's young. Obviously, there's holes in it. Haley Cohen lost to Nora Cornell by sub, lost to Jamie Lynn Horth by decision, beat Claudia Late on the contender series. I don't know. I just have that one little itch. You know, there's a stat where these younger girls always beat the older guys. Usually, it's a pretty heavy, pretty big stat, or percentage. I mean, sorry, but yeah, give me prayer by decision. I kind of agree with it. I don't know. This is just gonna be one of those fights you probably don't watch. To be honest with you. Well, I mean, we'll talk about it in the recap because that's just what we do. It's our due diligence to you guys. But you're not gonna be missing much in this one. As I'm looking at it, I don't know. It's just whatever. You know, we'll see what happens. Moving on. Lando Venata, Darius Flowers. These guys are still around. Okay. Venata, last time we saw him, he fought Daniel Zellhuber. That was his last fight about 3 years ago. Uh, and he's here, and he is a moderate favorite against a Darius Flowers who fought 2024. Who did he fight? Evan Elder. Okay, well, all right. Gotta make a pick in this one. Uh, give me Darius Flowers. I don't know. It just feels right. I think his loss hasn't aged as piss poor as Daniel Zellhuber. You know, Daniel Zellhuber, every time he's lost is when he's like a minus 500 or more favorite. Excuse me. Um, I don't know. I don't know why I'm even picking this one. You know, I think the losses on the side of Darius Flowers are just they just make more sense. They're guys that I understand losses to. Jake Matthews, Michael Johnson, who we saw lose Alexander Hernandez. Alexander Hernandez is on a big streak now. And like I said, Evan Elder. Evan Elder is one of those prospects who looks pretty decent. We haven't seen him in a bit though, so hopefully we see him soon. Benata, it's like Danny's over. Just talked about him. Charles Jourdain, that's a good loss. I understand the loss. This is probably featherweight Jourdain, right? And then Mike Grundy, who is that guy's definitely not even around anymore. That guy fucking sucked. King Green, not a bad loss, but it was 5 years, 7 months ago. This guy is just not active. He's not up to the standard that we need in the UFC. On the other side, Darius Flowers, like I said, he's not active either. But I just trust him more in this spot. I mean, how's he gonna get it done? Let me see. Boy, as long as he doesn't hit the mat, I think he's okay in this one, right? Lando has the ground game, has the finish game, but I don't know. I think Darius Flowers is just gonna do enough in this one. He's a bit younger, and I don't know, man. It's a tough spot to be in. I think he can edge this one out. I could be dead wrong. I don't know. This is a fight that UFC should not be making. You should have just got rid of these guys 12-7, 12-8. But here we are in the apex. Enjoy, fans. Moving on. Alexander Costa, Stuart Nickel. This is feels one-sided. It could be closer than people expect, but I have Alessandro Costa. I think he just has more ways to win. I talked about it in my logs video on TikTok. Costa, he has a great strike game. He also has a great ground time, great submissions. Stuart Nickel, he's kind of a decision king. He does have a few submission wins, if I recall. Yeah. Um, but I don't trust him here. His last two losses, Lucas Roca and Jesus Aguilar. Yeah, they're not bad losses. This was probably Apex Jesus Aguilar, but Lucas Roca, I don't know. Maybe it's an okay loss. But Jesus Aguilar, I think it's an okay loss. It's whatever. On the other side, Alexander Costa has lost to really only guys that have been ranked, right? Amir Abazi, top 5. Steve Erceg, I think he's top 10 right now. Alvin Correa, he's a prospect, but he's a good prospect. He fights out of Florence Fight Club with Dakota Hope, who I just talked about, and Joshua Van. He is going to be a prospect to keep your eyes on going forward, I think. He lost, I think he lost in his debut, right? Or Alvin Correa did, or did he win his debut? I think the debut was Costa. Could be wrong. I got to go look at it. But Corey is a name to watch out for, guys. Uh, Give me Alexandre Costa in this one. I think he's gonna do enough in this one to either edge it on the scorecards or get a finish late second, early third. I think we can get him out of there by knockout. We'll see though. Moving on to our next fight. Heavyweights. Oh boy. In the Apex. Oh boy. Oh golly gee. We get Thomas Peterson, who I think he trained like a wrestler out of Iowa, right? That's where he's from. Isn't that what it was? Or Minnesota. He was a wrestler with Minnesota, I think is what it was. Versus Gary Pat, who is a tall, athletic striker, 6'5" versus 6'1", 81-inch reach versus 74. Yeah, give me Gary Pat. Gary Pat is probably going to find the finish in this one. His elbows are raw. He's got great hands. He's got heavy hands. Peterson, he's bit back and forth, back and forth. Well, he lost to Jamal Pogues, which is a shit loss. Lost to Shmogaziev, which is a whatever loss. The Blob has proven to be an anomaly. And then Vitor Petrino, it's a loss that I am not sure how I feel yet because Vitor Petrino just went to a decision with Stephen Asplin. And I don't know. He's an interesting cat. I don't know how I feel about him. Um, but he knocked out Thomas Peterson, and that was 5 months ago. Now we're here, and you get another guy with heavy ass hands coming off Contender Series. Oh wait, no, he was never Contender Series. Sorry, he was a UFC right away by Alan Fry. I think he was supposed to be Contender Series. No, wasn't he fizzle? Let's look. I thought he was supposed to be. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not crazy, but he beat Alan Fry Jr. Smoked him out over a decision win. Hopefully this doesn't go to decision, but I don't even know anymore, man. Every time we watch heavyweight now, it is just abysmal. It's terrible. It'd be exciting to see a finish once in a while. I really don't want to see these guys look like dog shit for 3 rounds, tired, no gas tank. Just give me some entertainment, man. Please. I know it's the Apex, but let's do something. So yeah, give me Pat by knockout is my pick here. Let's move on to the main card opener. Robert Ushala, Jose Delano. Picks Jose Delano. And I know he's a pretty heavy favorite, but there is some caution because Rushala has the power in the hands, right? We know that he can do some work. Last time out, we saw him against William Gomi. I think that was in Paris. That was it kind of felt like a sweat. It went to the decision, but then again, Gomi isn't much of a finisher. On the other side, Jose Delano. Delano was a Contender Series guy, beat Manuel Exposito, and he just looks cleaner all around. I mean, his striking, his ground game's pretty good. Um, Obviously, he wins on scorecards. But let's look. I mean, he fights out of LFA, and he's just dominant. I mean, he's on a 4-fight win streak right now, and he's a bit of the older guy. I think he's just got the better experience, man. I think he's gonna do enough in this one. Robert Rushala, we know, kind of fights like a brawler. Delano's a bit more technical. He likes to kick at range. He can definitely get on the takedowns and get Rushala down. Um, yeah, I think I think as long as Delano controls the pace in this one and doesn't fall into this trap that Rashad will set, of being just a striking guy and a brawler, I think Delano can edge this one out and maybe get a finish himself if he can get Rushala down. Maybe we'll see him in a top mount position or a dominant position where he can find a submission. We'll see. Give me Delano on this one. Moving on. The juiciest favorite by a long shot. Tommy McMillan, Manuel Zucchini. I mean, he's 1,000 right now. I think I saw him more on a different book. I could be wrong. Tommy McMillan, though, is the pick. I mean, it seems like an obvious one here. Manuel Zucchini, kind of a mid fighter. Last time we saw him was against the Pirate Morgan Charrier 2.5 years ago. And now you're basically the debut fight for Tom McMillan, who just almost got his neck snatched by David McGoyan, but ended up winning that one. And he's just a dog, man. Until we see a guy, really get Tom McMillan out of there, I think Tom McMillan's going to be one of the guys that we have to keep an eye on moving forward. Um, he's one of Sean O'Malley's training partners. He's a guy that we see You know, doing big things in the UFC for what it is right now. But yeah, give me Tom McMillan. And how's he gonna get it done, man? I would say probably by submission. Yeah, I think his wrestling is really good. I think he can get it done. Zucchini, yeah, we know he's got the power in the hands. I mean, I could just tell by looking at him, he doesn't really have much else going on. But yeah, give me Tommy McMillan. I think Tommy McMillan can get this one done. If he finds them on the ground, I think he's gonna end up in the more dominant position. Uh, yeah, I hope he gets it done inside the distance as a -1,000 favorite. Please don't be a heavy favorite that ends up on the scorecards because you didn't do enough. Yeah, so we'll see. Give me Tuck Millen, the heavy favorite in this one. Moving on, next fight. This one, I feel like this fight is going to be interesting, and I hope it doesn't fall through because what we know about Rafael Estevam is he has weight problems. He has missed weight multiple times when he was fighting at bantamweight, or was a flyweight, and yeah, he's undefeated. We know his takedown game is really good. He's got great grappling, but his gas tank is my biggest worry. He's one of the undefeated guys that I just know is not going to be undefeated for much longer. I think Ethan Ing's gonna be the guy to take it from him. Ethan Ing's my pick in this one. We saw what he just did to Malcolm Wellmaker, man. He just outclassed him bad for 3 rounds. He exposed a lot of holes in Wellmaker's game. Ethan Ewing had what felt like an infinite gas tank. He's a dog. He took striking clean on the chin and just ate it. Uh, I trust him more, and he's yeah. I mean, is he even the favorite? Take him right now. Yeah, we'll see how this looks because Estevam, I think, is debuting. I think it's that featherweight, no? Bantamweight. So he's going up a weight class. Ewing's going down a weight class. They're kind of meeting in the middle here. Interesting. But I mean, it's gonna help Estevam for sure to not have to cut as much weight. We know that he's a bit of a weight bully, and we know that like as we talked about, his game is on the ground. That he's the guy who will control time on the ground. Um, we'll see. Last time out, fought Felipe Boons, mid, beat Jesus Aguilar. Eh, we talked about him. Beat Wellmaker, and then he fought with LFA and other promotions. But he was short notice when he fought Malcolm Waymaker. Like imagine him on a full camp. That's what I'm intrigued to see. I think Anthony can get this one done inside not inside this, sorry, on decision. I think as long as there's no like crazy weird scorecards, as long and Ethan Ewing does enough here, I think we see him give him his first L. So give me Ethan Ewing in this one. Moving on to the quickest fight I'm gonna cover for you guys. Give me Abdul Rahman round one, KO or submission. But really, guys, I mean this is a one-sided fight. Tom McMillan was -1,000. Well, guess what? You got Abdul Rahman at -1,400. And it makes sense. He can get it done however he wants, man. Undefeated. I don't think he's ever seen the scorecards. Or he has once. Okay, sorry. But all these finishes, quick finishes. He's off the contender series. Uh, Smoke Buddy out in the contender series 4 months ago. Beat Rafael Cerquera. Now you get the guy who's just like Rafael Cerquera, great grappler, or not great grappler. Um, he's basically got to be based on Cerquera. He's got okay hands. He's got the power in his hands. Submission game is kind of whatever. It's kind of mid. We know he beat Dr. Sorry, right here. Beat Dr. by Kimura. Dr. is kind of a layup for anyone who wants a submission win. The guy can't grapple for shit. But he loses by knockout to Mirzakhanov. Mirzakhanov's got plot armor. I think he might lose to Costa. We'll talk about that when that rolls around. I think that's next week, actually. But yeah, he lost to Ozbot, then he loses to Umar Sy. Umar Sy got fraud checked. We already know this. He lost to Alonzo Menafield, and then he lost last time out to Kudlaba. But Abdul Rahman, man, I think he is the truth. I think he's good everywhere, man. I mean, his striking is so fucking clean. He's got a lot of power. His takedown game's good. He can control. He can be heavy on the top. We'll see. I think he gets this one inside round one, though. I think he's gonna knock out Ribeiro. He's coming to 6'2", coming up to barely a reach disadvantage, but he's younger. I think he's just gonna be better everywhere. Moving on. Go main event. Verna Jandradoba, Tabitha Ritchie. What's up, Cheddar? Get up here, buddy. We got Tabitha Ritchie versus Verna. Sorry. Who do we got in this one, man? They got Verna as the underdog coming off that loss to Mackenzie Dern. Interesting. I don't know who to pick in this one. This is a tough one. I feel like this is a close one. Verna, we know, has a great submission game. We know that she's a great wrestler. Tabitha Ritchie, she's she is kind of similar to Mackenzie Dern in the sense that she has pretty okay hands, but she obviously excels on the ground. That's kind of been her memo. Um, hmm, who do we pick? Uh, let's just read it, right? Lost Mackenzie Dern, beat Xiaonan, that's a good win. Beat Lemos, that's a good win. But we know Lemos is kind of she is her weakness is the ground game. Beat Loopy, it's a good win. Beat Rodriguez, another good win. Tabitha Ritchie, let's look. Beat Rebus, that's a good win. You got the knockout win. Okay. Lost to Xiaonan. So MMA math kind of points us to pick Vernon, yeah? Angela Hill, old and still around. She's still doing her thing. Beat Tasha Pennington, was the champion. Beat her on a split. Or what was Pennington champ? It was Raquel. Wait, right? Holy fuck, guys. I'm sorry. Covering girls out we haven't seen on the show in a while. She was not the champ. It was who am I thinking of? Or no, she was. Whatever. Sorry, guys. Uh man, give me Tabitha Ritchie. I don't know. So sometimes we've been seeing this MMA match shit where one beats Zhao Nan or where sorry, just beats a fighter and the other loses to the fighter, but somehow they come out and they win. That's kind of been the weird theme we've been seeing this year where the MMA match just doesn't work anymore. So give me Tabitha Ritchie. I think she's gonna do enough to stuff the ground game and just find herself in a bit more of a striking match with Verna and edge just one out. It's a 3 round fight. Verna's got to do a lot to get her to the ground here and control and then find a submission. I don't see it happening. Tabitha Ritchie, I think she can get this one done. I don't think Verna's going to want to stand with her. And I think Ritchie's going to keep it off the ground, hopefully, for the majority of the fight. Pick at Verna. So, yeah, can we Tabitha Ritchie? The edge just went out on the scorecards and find her way into the title conversation with the win here. Now, let's get to the main event. Before we do that, though, guys, if you enjoy the content, make sure you guys like the video, comment, share with your buddies. It's a filler card. It sucks, but we appreciate you guys watching as always. Let's get into it. Renato, Money, Moicano, Chris Duncan. The pick is Chris Duncan. Easy pick for me in my opinion. Chris Duncan, he is just a savage man. Ever since he's been in the UFC, he's just been a problem. You know, he lost to Manuel Torres. That's not a bad loss, man. Manuel Torres is a fucking demon. He's a round one killer. Chris Duncan, he's kind of similar to Terrence McKinney, where he just has these crazy starts and he's just smoking out dudes. He beat Belagioki, good win, got the submission win, beat Jordan Vucenic. He's from Bellator, I think, and beat him. They had a bet. I remember watching this. They had a bet that loser was supposed to get a tattoo on their ass or something like that. Uh, he submitted him, didn't want the tattoo, beat Mateusz Rebecki, and he put a beating on Rebecki. It was a good fight. They were going back and forth, but Duncan just has more of a dog in him, and that's kind of why I'm on the side of him. We got two dogs. Moicano is the dog himself, but I think Duncan is just the more live guy here. He's proven to just be a savage. Last time out, beat McKinney by Anaconda choke. And if there's anything about beating a guy in round one, if you beat McKinney round one, that's the final boss, man. I mean, it doesn't get any more exciting than that. And that's why I like Chris Duncan because he's another guy similar to Terrence McKinney where he is just a fun, exciting fighter. He's not going to give you a boring fight. Moicano, his last two losses, he fought Islam, and it was a botched pay-per-view. It was supposed to be Armin, but they gave him Moicano. He put up a great first round, and it just is what it is, man. You don't. I don't know. This one I could almost just scratch off his record. It's just unfortunate, but this one you lose to Benil Dariush 9 months ago. Dariush. That tells me all I need to know, bro. Hey, you can chalk it up there. Anil Dariush, dude's about to get sacrificed to Quill and Saul killed here in a few in a little bit. Uh, yeah, he fought like shit in that third round. He seemed really gassed against Benny. Um, and it just makes more sense for Chris Duncan, man, to win this one and move up into probably into the rankings. Um, I would hope so. I hope he gets some fun fights. The main event. I think this one's gonna end inside the distance, though. I think Duncan is gonna find a finish. He's probably gonna get the knockout here. Like I said, he's just an exciting fighter. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's not much to cover here, guys. I'm sorry. It's a filler card. It kind of is what it is. Let's move on. We'll get you guys out of here. Let's go. So that's it for the picks this week. If you guys enjoyed the content, like I said, go check out the other platforms. Give us a like, give us a follow, do what you gotta do. Uh, yeah, if you guys have any more to add, let us know because there's not much here. I wish Z was here. Z could probably give me some more background info, but just from what I know about these guys and what I've seen from previous fights, this is what I got for you guys. Uh, so yeah, next week we got UFC UFC. I almost said UFC Seattle. We got UFC Miami, UFC Seattle recap just got posted. If you guys want to check that out, probably the best card of the year. I'll let you guys know we were there live, so trust us, we know. With that being said, though, stay cozy. We'll see you guys Friday for our betting video. See you guys there. Peace.